I'm a supporter of the president, but this is not going well. And they need a shift in strategy. They need a shift in strategy. And I really think what needs to happen is I volunteer to do it because I am not conspiratorial, but I totally understand the Epstein case very well and why people have questions about it. I'll sit down with all three of them. Give me Bondi, Patel, and Bongino for 2 hours. Nothing, no holds barred. I can ask anything. And then the audience can see whether they're truth tellers. And I care about them. I don't know Pam as well, but though I know Pam, I don't dislike Pam. I really don't. We go back years at Fox News. Dan is the only one who I consider an actual personal friend. But the audience knows that, and I hope is coloring, that in on assessing my own bias on this. But this is why you have to sort of keep some distance between yourself and the administration, even when they're your friends. You have to be able to report honestly on them and to call out bullshit when you think you smell it. And I think I smell it, and I'm nowhere near dog poop playground. So I think it's coming from Washington, D.C.
So I think you should call, especially if it's your friends, you should call out bullshit.
Dan is a wonderful guy, and he's a very straight shooter. He's all heart. He's totally earnest. I don't believe Dan is lying to us. I don't. I don't know Kash as well. I don't mean to indict him at all. I'm just saying I don't know him the way I know Dan, who's been coming on the show for years. We've had many long hours and hours and hours. This is like you. I know him like I know you. No one's going to convince me he would go out there and just blatantly lie. I don't believe it. So let's go down the line of he's telling the truth and Kash is. Again, we're checking Pam Bondi's weird statements for now. I know somebody very close to the Epstein case. I've never said who this is, but this is a very, very well-informed person. And this person from the beginning has told me that Epstein was into young girls. I don't know what he looked at online. I believe he probably did look at what now they just call child sexual assault material. We used to call it child pornography. I believe he was probably into that. But this person was saying in terms of what Jeffrey wanted brought to him at his mansions and his, island, it was the barely legal type. And in many states, that's not unlawful. The 17-year-old sex partner for a grown man is actually not illegal. Now in some it is, and he got in trouble in Florida. So it is a possibility that was his thing when it came to actual sexual interactions. Forget what he was looking at online. And it is a thing that, he had some of those girls who weren't committing crimes with powerful men. And that while he had a very interesting black book that had names including Donald Trump's in it, that doesn't amount to a client list. And there aren't young girls who can point the fingers. There is Virginia Giuffre, who recently died, who was the girl pictured with Prince Andrew in those infamous Daily Mail photos that we've all seen, where she was, I think, 17 and with Prince Andrew. And this is why he got excommunicated from his family. She says the girls were being funneled out to third parties, to other men, and that she was one of them. But I'm sorry, Virginia Giuffre is was, God rest her, I'm sorry, liar, a proven liar. And not only do I firmly believe she lied about Alan Dershowitz, and she admitted she might have been confused about him. A lot of stuff she said turned out to be just totally false.
So you have lawsuits against the Department of Justice pending from the last administration. And a lot of this crap wouldn't have been an issue if Bondi had been real about what she has. But she has media narcissism. And there's a lot of things that she could have put out there they could have bought themselves time to investigate. They could have bought themselves time. I just have to believe. Now, I'm one of the ones who's stupid enough to be seen with a stupid binder. Like I said on Dear America this morning, these big ass things they gave us we didn't ask for. You couldn't just hide it in your pocket.
That's like billboards.
You couldn't walk out and hide it in your pocket. We were sort of ambushed by the media when we walked out that door. But my thing on all of that is I just have to believe there was a better way to communicate all of this stuff. There's so many nuances and complex issues going on surrounding this thing that this administration, particularly this Department of Justice, Pam Bondi, let's narrow that funnel down, could have communicated this a better way. But the woman is a narcissist. She wanted the attention. She said yesterday in the cabinet meeting in front of the press, she said, well, I was, one time I was on Fox News. I said, lady, you were on there 125 times in like 6 weeks.
Yeah, always popping that mouth off, just like coming at them hard. That's the only way to put it. She was fiery,
Yeah, she was. And the media loved her. But here's my issue, buddy. So Trump comes out yesterday and he's like, we're still talking about this creep. We're talking about Epstein. Come on. I don't like this. And let me tell you why I don't like it, Steve. Suddenly, the enemies of Donald Trump are silent. Why aren't Hakeem Jeffries and Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and those guys, why aren't they saying anything about it? Why aren't they publicly posting anything on X? They're not doing anything. And suddenly Trump they're not trying to kill him.
Yeah,
they're not coming at him savage anymore.
They should be coming at him from the aspect, look, he's trying to sweep it under the rug. What has he got to hide? And they're not.
They should be. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago after Elon Musk posted the thing about Trump being on the list, the Harry Sissons and the Krasensteins, the Democrats were suddenly saying, release the list. I mean, we literally had Democrats begging for the list. And now nothing. And they're not trying to kill the man anymore. That concerns me because it tells me there's something going on that Donald Trump is no longer a threat to them. So my question there is, and I don't care what you say in the chat, just look at the facts. I don't care if you can get mad at me. But listen, as I said this morning on Dear America, you're either here for the truth or you're not. I'm not here to blow smoke up your blouse. I'm not here to do that. I'm gonna tell you the truth. It concerns me that this administration is compromised in some way. I don't like during that cabinet meeting when he was talking about giving more arms to Ukraine. I didn't like the look on Pete Hegseth's face sitting next to him. I did not feel like Pete Hegseth was approving of that. And maybe it's me reading too much into it. But here's the thing. If your enemies are suddenly agreeing with you, there ought to be a pause and say why. Because if I'm now going if I'm no longer going against the flow, if I'm not catching friction, then that means I've embraced the status quo. And it could be that the swamp finally got me. I hope that's not true. But look at the evidence. Yeah. Look at the evidence. Trump said, why are we still talking about this? Because you literally campaigned on it.
Yeah, I don't think we shouldn't back off of it either.
I won't.
Expose and you know what? The truth, whatever the truth is.
I'll be honest with you, Steve. My life may be in danger. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the stuff that I get. I mean, the hate, the threats that I'm getting, because they're literally accusing me of covering up for Jeffrey Epstein, of covering up for a pedophile. And we have come out day one ad nauseum. I mean, I could vomit this binder at this point. I'm on news shows every freaking day being asked about this. There's a lot of threats out there. Drano is getting them. He texted me last night. And it was a debacle. I mean, the whole thing is a debacle. You could not have created a bigger setup than what this whole thing was. And I agree with what Megyn said on her show yesterday, where, Pam Bondi trotted us out there. She didn't invite us there. We weren't there for her. She hijacked a meeting that was for another purpose and dropped that in our lap.
Let me ask you this. To create those binders, put those binders together, put them in a book, have that all ready for the right number of people that were coming to the White House. You can't tell me they planned that the day of. She planned that before y'all got there, so she knew y'all were coming there.
Yep, they knew.
And I have no doubt that the media was, the outside media was called and hey, we're bringing them out the door.
And I've been there numerous times. That area, the sticks area, where all the tripods and the cameras are set up, I've been there numerous times.
Is that always there?
The tents that are always back there? Yes, the tents are always back there. Every, network has their tent. And I sit there and I look at them in the summertime thinking, you guys got to be sweating your ass off sitting in these tents. waiting on news to break. That's literally their job, is to sit there at the White House, wait for a press briefing to pop. If the president's going to say something, they get to run in there. Or if Carolyn Levette's going to do something, they get to run in there. Or if there's breaking news so that they can look like they're on the White House lawn, they just pop out there. When we walked out that door, and by the way, I would have taken a picture of it, but I didn't have my cell phone, because you can't have your cell phone with you in the West Wing. It's in a locker. And so I would have taken a picture of it, because there was a gob of cameras in front of us. And yeah, they knew we were coming. I mean, that's my name, right?
Yeah.
That's my place card for where I was sitting at the conference tables. That says over here. That says, I'm backwards. That says the White House. It's a cool little thing. Not everybody has that. Proud of that. And
yeah, they had that planned well ahead of time. They knew who was coming, how many people were coming. What'd you know, a week before you came?
Yeah.
So they knew a week before you were coming.
You know, the thing about it is, you know, what Megyn said was, you bring the president's staunchest allies and most vocal supporters, and you just railed
And make a mockery of them?
You railed them, dude. I mean, you know, this is White House notes right here. This is White House letterhead on this note. I mean, I was there to take notes on the administration. This is the stuff that I got. Carolyn Levette, talked about the top priorities. Number one, the border. She said that was solved. No empathy on the messaging. We need the budget to pass. Talking about the beautiful bill. Talking about the agenda needs to be passed on the Hill. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. Keep up the pressure campaign. Marco Rubio came in. He talked about his approach to everything was safer, stronger, more prosperous. USAID, 300 people globally had the power to distribute money with the click of a mouse. Canceled 92% of USAID funding. Bobby Kennedy came in and talked about how Elon saved $8.6 billion in HHS. We talked about different things like changing baby formula from the seed oils. You know, this is the stuff we were talking about.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff you're like, oh my God, it was some big conspiracy. No, literally, this is the kind of stuff we were hearing the priorities of the cabinet members. Carolyn, I mean.
So they gave you an itinerary of what the meeting was going to be, right?
No.
Oh,
they don't do that.
Okay. I didn't know.
The last trip to the White House, I had no idea why I was going. They literally said, you're invited to the White House for a special event. Then you get on your airline app and you book a flight and you book a hotel and you go. They don't pay for it. And honestly, they don't give a fresh shit if you show up or not. But you're invited, and that's an honor.
Yeah,
and you know what you do? You go.
I was going to say, but most people that would get invited to the White House would go if they could afford to go. Okay.